Okay, so today we're going to read a very interesting letter, which is about the upcoming holiday of Shavuot, which is coming upon us tomorrow night on Thursday night, and also Friday and into the Sabbath. So you have the dynamic of both one of the highest of holidays, Shavuot, which is the giving of the Torah, when we became Jewish people, and also then the power of Shabbat. So it's going to be amazing. So this letter was written to in honor to the participants in the 16th annual convention of women of Chabad, women and also mothers and daughters of Chabad. It was a group. It was written in 5731, around the time of Lag BaOmer. And so letter starts. Blessing and greeting. The convention is taking place this year on the Sabbath, right before the month of the giving of the Torah, and as much as everything is hashgacha pratit, meaning divine providence, that it's not by accident that it happens that way, but it is for a specific reason. It is an opportune moment to dwell on one of the aspects of the giving of the Torah, which has a direct bearing also on the convention that these women are having. The Torah from Sinai begins with the Ten Commandments, of which the first two, I am God, your God, the root and foundation of all positive mitzvot, and you shall have no other gods. These are the first two commandments, and they proclaim the unity of God. So a precondition to the giving of the Torah was the unity of the Jewish people. And it was written, and Israel encamped there facing the mountain. And it was written in that they camped as in singular, meaning they were all one man with one heart, to show that literally the only way that you can receive the Torah and to really have strongest connection with God is by having unity with all the people around you, whether they be people that you get along with or don't get along with. Seemingly, you put differences aside and you say we're all children of God, we're all coming together. And this is something that when we go into Shavuot, we should really try to do, to find a way to see the good in each person around us. So the Rebbe continues. The essence of Matan Torah. Matan Torah means the giving of the Torah. The essence of the giving of the Torah is to realize in the material world the unity of God through the one nation on earth, the Jewish people, fulfilling the 613 mitzvot of the one Torah. At first glance, it is difficult to understand how such unity can be achieved, considering that God himself created mankind as diverse individuals, differing in their opinions. And there's a quote, as they differ in their faces, so they differ in their minds, living in a world which he likewise created with variations as to the climate and physical features. So how can a whole nation attain true unity within itself and bring unity into such a diverse world? The explanation to that is found in the verse, and they stood themselves under the mountain. What was that? It was 600,000 adult Jews with their wives, their sons and daughters. So that means that they found a way to receive the Torah. They all submitted themselves to it so completely that all mundane matters cease to exist for them, as it were. So they were able to forget about their egos, put their egos aside, which is called bitul, which is self-nullification. Put their identity on the side and join in as part of the collective. And they were able to get the joy of receiving the Torah and nothing else. There was no room for anything else. There was no room for any division between them, any conflicts, nothing. The whole joy was so huge that it overcame any kind of differences, conflicts that could have happened. And you can imagine 600,000 people, how many conflicts can occur. If you've ever been to an event, a concert, a few thousand people, just how many things go wrong in that type of situation where things can combust and all kinds of arguments, fights can happen. So this means that as they were about to receive the Torah, they submitted themselves to it so completely. And since the mountain was the same for all of them, and all were permeated with the same feeling of this self-effacement, of removing their ego, and they had joy, this brought about true unity into all the 600,000 individual Jews and their families, and also the unity of God into the world through the one Torah. So the Jewish people began with one family, okay? Let's trace back. We start as one family of the father Abraham, and ever since then, the Jewish family has been the foundation of our people. In the family too, in any family structure, each member is a separate individual with a particular function and purpose in life assigned to him and her by divine providence. Unless there is unity in the family, there can be no unity of the Jewish people. How is family unity achieved? In the same way as mentioned above, when all the members of the family accept the one Torah from the one God, and we say one Torah, one God, in such a way that the Torah and the mitzvot are the only essential thing, and all other things are secondary considerations. And they have significance only as they are related to the essence that there is true unity in the family. So the Rebbe is saying that when our objective is to be united, to have one Torah, and we all believe in the same thing, that surpasses any issues that we may have, any other considerations in our family. And this is something that obviously is at the heart and soul of happiness of any family, that keeps them together, that they hold on to the values and traditions and the directives of the Torah. So to attain this family unity, bearing in mind also that Jewish families are the component parts of the Jewish people and the basis of the unity of the entire Jewish people, because after all, how can you have unity in a nation if you can't have unity in your own family? So the Jewish mother and daughter has the most important part in this role of creating unity. And we mentioned that before in a previous class, that the wife is called the Akeret Habayit. She is the foundation of the home, and she is what sets the tone for the entire family. And if the wife is committed to creating unity, then sure enough, the children, the husband will also make that their number one priority, just to show you how important is the role of the Jewish women. So needless to say that the said unity must be a constant one without interruptions. This is to say, it must be expressed not only on certain days of the year, not only on certain hours of the day, but in every day of the year, in every hour of the day, in every second of the day. It has to be an overriding objective to keep the unity and to keep it. And the way you keep the unity is obviously following the Torah from A to Z without any exceptions. This means that a Jewish home must be wholly based on the foundations of the Torah and mitzvot, and so infused with the spirit of Torah dedication, the joy of doing mitzvot, that this should be reflected in the conduct outside the home, in the street, and in the entire environment. So the Rebbe is giving a very good point. Sometimes we find ourselves going to synagogue or going to a class, and we're inspired and we're feeling high, and we make all these resolutions that we're going to rededicate ourselves to more spiritual life and strong connection to God. And then the day goes by and we get distracted by different things, by our work, by a great movie or whatever, and before you know it, that spirit is gone. So we have to reinforce that. We have to pray that it's something that stays with us at all hours of the day, and not something that we just that not some kind of a role that we play only at certain times. So the Rebbe concludes, herein lies the essence and integrity and unity of the Jewish family and the Jewish family life, the main themes of this year's convention that these women are gathered on. And it is hoped that this point will be brought out at the convention with the proper clarity and forcefulness, together with its aim and purpose, its realization of the daily life in keeping with the basic principles of the sages of blessed memory, that the essential thing is the deed. And we mentioned that many times before, that we can talk about this till we're blue in the face, but the key is to do it. The key is to find a way to take what we learn here and to put it into action as soon as we get off this meeting that we're having together here on this Google Meet. So that's the idea. And for those of you that are married, realize what a huge weighty role your wife plays, and how she can really, by giving her all the proper tools and by respecting her and encouraging her, she can really create the type of unity that was found in the giving of the Torah, to the point that God himself will want to come down into your home, because it's such a harmonious and amazing home that he wants to dwell within it, wants to dwell within your mini Bet HaMikdash, mini holy temple that is your home. And this is something that is imparted into the Jewish women. And in fact, the Torah was given on the merit of the Jewish women. And this is a very important theme in this whole holiday of Shavuot, and the realization that women have played such an important, vital role. And without them, we certainly would not have been able to get the Torah, and would not be able to be here, standing here today, about to receive it again. So may we receive the Torah with joy and internalize it into our hearts and souls. And until the next time after the holiday, we'll gather, and may you take what we learned here and put it into action right away. Chag Sameach to everyone. Shavuot. Take care.